Weidman began his career in animation as a background artist during the 1950s and 1960s. During his later life, Weidman's silk screens were featured in the sets of the AMC television series, Mad Men, which revived interest in his work. In 2010, the Los Angeles Times referred to Weidman as possibly the most famous unknown artist. Weidman was born in the Belvedere Gardens section of present-day of East Los Angeles on June 28, 1921. He initially attended Garfield High School, but transferred to manual arts to focus on an art career. He received a scholarship to Otis Art Institute, but never attended because of the outbreak of World War II, which led to his enlistment in the United States Navy. He met his future wife, Dorothy, at Jepson, where she was a silkscreen instructor. He became a background artist and painter at United Productions of America, better known as UPA. He is credited with helping UPA develop the distinctive modern style which became a hallmark of the animation studio's productions. His television series and special credits with UPA Animation included The Famous Adventures of Mr. Aside from his work at UPA, Weidman also worked on television shorts for Crusader Rabbit, Popeye, and Fractured Fairy Tales. David Weidman briefly left animation after to focus on silk screening after becoming frustrated with a group-centered animation process. In a 2013 interview with Greater Long Beach, described how he utilized pictures of objects or blocks of color with varying degrees of transparency. His prints often mimics the backdrops he painted for 1960s-era animated cartoons. He opened a small gallery and workshop located behind a liquor store on La Cienega Boulevard in Los Angeles. He gained a corporate clientele, who used his prints in hotels and other public buildings. However, he disliked having to tailor his work, telling Find Art in a 2014 interview, "When clients began dictating to me the color and the subject, they took me off my rails." He worked on Wacky Races and Dastardly and Mudley in their flying machines for Hanna-Barbera. While he continued to produce posters and ceramics for decades, Weidman stopped creating silk screen prints around 1980 due to the work-intensive nature of the process. He did not begin creating new silk screens again until his artwork was discovered or rediscovered circa 2008 when he was well into his 80s. Interest in Weidman's pieces were revived with the premiere of Mad Men, which first aired in 2007. Mad Men's set designer, Claudette Didol, spoke of their choice of Weidman's prints for use on the show in an interview with the Los Angeles Times. "The style is very distinctive and indicative of that era and the popularity of Danish modern. They remind me of pictures I saw growing up and seemed in keeping with Peggy's sensibilities and reflect her younger and somewhat more cheerful outlook." The set designers placed his prints as props, including a stylized flower print Peggy Olsen's office and other rooms in the fictional 1960s ad agency. Urban Outfitters licensed a line of pillows emblazoned with Weidman's mid-century art. In 2008, Stephen Kurutz, a writer for the New York Times, published a book on the artist and his work titled, "The Whimsical Works of David Weidman" through Ginkgo Press. A retrospective of his work opened on June 28, 2014, at the Weidman Gallery, now located on Melrose Avenue. David Weidman died of congestive heart failure at his home in the Highland Park neighborhood of Los Angeles on August 6, 2014, at the age of 93. He was survived by his wife, Dorothy Weidman, whom he married in 1953, and 3 children, Lena Weidman, Josh Weidman, and Troy Weidman.